Okay. So, I should think of a name for this story because it is one of my... People are always amazed when I tell this story. So I'll come up with a name by the end because I can't do it on the spot. So this is one of my first near-death experiences. I've had quite a few, and it's a good one. All right, you're gonna wanna stay tuned for this. So, at my old house, we lived on a lake, very small lake. It was a small lake, and everyone who lived on the lake, we all knew each other because it was a small lake. We would fish in that lake. We'd boat in that lake. We would use sea-doos or jet skis in the lake. But we couldn't really get a boat, like a real boat out there. He couldn't move it around. It was pretty small. So we had this 2-story dock. It was like a wooden dock, like docks are made of wood, and it had like this raised platform, and underneath the raised platform there was a hammock, and then on top we had a ladder going up to the raised platform. It was like a loft type thing, and we used to jump off of it, like into the lake, when it was deep enough, because sometimes there was not enough water in the lake. I'm up on the top platform, and my dad and my sister are both fishing down on the bottom. And we had the dock for a very long time now. This is probably a year before we moved out of that house because there's a market crash, and it in the housing market, and we had to sell our house because we could not afford to keep it anymore. This is not related to the story. So the dock is old, and it's wood, and it's rotting. And I'm up on the top dock, and it starts creaking a bit. It's creakety creaking, as old wood does. And my sister, who's down on the bottom dock, pulls her fishing pole back and whaps my foot while I'm up there. And I jumped, as, when you feel a sharp pain in your foot, and unexpectedly you jump. It's kind of a spooky thing. And then all of a sudden, the dock started rumbling and creaking and leaning. And I'm on the second story, and it's falling. The dock is falling apart. The ladder falls. I'm stuck on the top story. All right? My dad and my sister are both down there fishing, and when it starts rumbling, Elle, of course, pulls her fish, starts running. But her fishing rod, she's still holding her fishing rod, and it gets caught in my dad's leg. Now my dad falls back, Elle drops the pole. She runs off the dock, and he's on the dock trying to get the hook out of his leg, while I'm up here yelling, "Dad, help me!" He's unable to help, because the fishing pole, right? My sister drops the fishing pole, and you know how wood docks are, they got spaces between it's stuck in one of the cracks. And my dad is on the fishing pole. He can't move away from the fishing pole until he gets the hook out of his leg. And just then, a support beam for the second platform snaps, and it breaks, and it's leaning out, it's falling. Dude, it's coming down into the lake. Now, the dock used to be a whole lot bigger, but this happened to the previous owner of the house, where a portion of the upper dock fell, and so there was a single pole with a bunch of rusty nails. Really rusty nails sticking out of it everywhere. And the way I was going, I was either going to get crushed by this dock or impaled by this pole. It's falling. Time freezes, like slow-mo, like Breath of the Wild when you're shooting in the air and it slow-mos and your stamina's running out. That was happening to me. I looked down at my dad, who was like, freaking out that I was going to die, but in slow-mo, because slow-mo cutscene. My life started flashing before my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die at age 5. I was 5 or 6. And I'm like, no, this is not how it ends. So I run to the edge of the falling dock. This dock coming down, it's crumbling. Parts of the floor are giving away beneath my feet. I jump off the dock. I'm heading straight for the pole. My legs are split. Sails inches above this spike, like a nail caught my bathing suit and tore a hole in it. But I was not a scratch on me. Landed in the water. I hear a huge crash and crack. The dock comes down behind me, and I get up and I look around. I'm swimming, and my dad's just got the hook out of his leg, and he's looking in the lake. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" We're all so out of breath. I swim to shore, right? And there's a water moccasin. There's a water moccasin. I thought the danger was over. There is a venomous snake between me and dry land where I can finally rest. So this snake, right? You thought it was over when I survived the crash. No. This snake, right? I think he was trying to eat me. Like, most snakes, they're like afraid of humans and stuff. All right, I'm like, oh crap, okay, water moccasin. Seen these before. I walk the other way. It turns around, like it's blocking me, like a goalie would block someone trying to shoot a ball.
Like it's hurting you?
Like it's keeping me away from the land. And now, this other time, my dad had once shot a water moccasin with a pellet gun, right? Because on that lake, there's a lot of snakes.
They're evil.
They're evil. There were like some devil snakes in there. That's a story for another time. I've had some snake experiences in that lake. Well, so I'm yelling to my dad, "Get the pellet gun! Get the pellet gun, Dad!" He's like, "Dude, even if I went and got the pellet gun before the snake got you, right? I could shoot you. What? We're not using the pellet gun." So the snake, swear he's hurting me. All right. I got the stupidest idea ever. I just ran for it. I ran straight for the snake. I ran over him, and he jumped at me, and my dad yelled at me. Very bad, but I was safe. I got onto land, and no one died. No one got hurt except for the hook in my dad's leg. And that is the story of the rotting wood snake.